Recently, Might and Magic VII was beaten in under 3 minutes. By me, Xenoros. In this video I will tell you how the run works. First, let's take a look at what we have to do to win the game. In a casual playthrough, the credits are reached when you give the Overthruster, the final key item, to Resurrectora or Castore, depending on which path you chose. To be able to do that, we have to get the Overthruster somehow and get access to one of those NPCs. Luckily, a few clever minds dug into the game and found amazing glitches, which let us do just that. So before we jump into the actual route explanation, I want to shout out Anerag, Fixxxer and Alpaca for finding glitches and route optimizations. Let's start with the character creation. The party doesn't matter too much in any percent. We are mainly looking for 3 things. Clerics as a class, since they start with an already learned targetable spell, this will be very handy later. Luck 15 on all characters, so that we can alternate on who can get money from the well in Emerald Island, and Merchant and Meditation skill for better potion prices and possibly blue potions as start items. 10 Endurance was the sweet spot to keep the party squishy but minimize risk of death in the old route, but it doesn't matter too much anymore, so we just keep it. Same goes for all the other stat points, they don't matter. What does matter is the naming. We need 3 characters to have names that start with R, L and an angled bracket. This is required for the NPC glitch, and only the starting letter counts, so we can type whatever we want afterwards. That's why my party has Zeno as the first character who doesn't matter, Russ with the R letter, the AS is not important, and L and the bracket character. Alright, let's start in and I explain the route as I go. So we skip the intro, of course, and the first thing we do is disable this guide here, because otherwise, if you don't disable her, you get annoying text messages all the time. So we disabled her, and then we jump down here. The first thing we do is check the follower, and we need a follower that only costs 200 or 100 gold. So we cannot hire this one, that's why we have to start again. It's a perfect example of this game being very grindy, or the category at least. So we gotta restart over and over until we get a follower that works. Luckily, it's not too unlikely. So this also doesn't work. And I have to restart again. Also, as you can see here, we use a script to create the characters. I'm not doing this by myself. I wrote a script that put all the points so that it's easier. And if we get a follower now... Hello. No. Okay, one last reload, and if this does not work, I will cut and continue from a good follower. Alright, here we got one. Hello. We hire him. And what we have to do now is induce the glitched hiring glitch. That's how I call it. And for that to work, we need a quick spell, and as I told earlier in the party creation, clerics start with the cure weakness spell, which is a targetable spell. We need that as a quick spell, so that we can jump in the water and execute the spell by a quick spell and open the follower menu at the same time. But first, we have to reduce the HP of our party to very low, because after we execute this glitch, we need to die. So I'm doing just that now. You see, I have the target crosshair and the follower menu is open. Usually, you're not able to do anything, but if you use the spell now on any character, then the game continues while the character menu, the NPC menu is open. And that leads to the game breaking, because we die. So, we die, the follower menu is still open, but we don't have any follower anymore, except this now glitched follower, and we can dismiss him. So we have this glitched state where we can hire and dismiss the follower that is here, and you already see, if I hover over the game, the follower changes. And which follower we can hire depends on the starting ladder of whatever we hover over. And you're already assuming in which direction it goes. We can also do that for our party. So that is exactly why we have the specific naming in the game, so we can hire the Temple of Light, Judge Grey, Resurrector, and exactly those NPCs help us win the game. So, how do we hire now? Because I cannot click my character and the hire button at the same time. So what we have to do is, we need to die again. As we die, the game freezes. And I have to move my mouse, you can see it now, outside of the window and position myself over the hire button so that I click it immediately when I'm revived. So I could actually also do this, but in a death screen I don't see my cursor. So going outside here on the taskbar and going back in is the better way to do it. And of course, before we die, I need to hover over the NPC that I want, in this case Temple of Light. I jump in, death screen comes, you see my mouse here on the right side. I'll go over, try to hover over the hire button, skip the cutscene and spam clicking. And here we go, Temple of Light is hired. Now it's still in a broken state, and to fix that we have to die once more. That gets rid of this invalid string thing, and now we have to save and load to really fix the Temple of Light. But we can use this to our advantage for the very next glitch. So we save here and load, and you see now I have the Temple of Light entrance as a follower. Don't question it, it works. So next I want to abuse the save and load glitch. It works the following. You see, I'm with the camera very close to this well here. If I change the map by going to the Temple of Light, also we can ignore this arrow, then saving here, loading back to the well, I have now two saves. One that is saved directly in front of this well here, and one that is saved in the Temple of Light. The save load abuse works with item IDs. This well here has an ID in the game, and I can click it. It does not do anything in on Emerald, but I'm still clicking this ID of the object of the well. When I now load back into the temple and click the same area where the well is immediately upon reload, the game still thinks I'm clicking on this object ID, but the map is different. So it will click actually on the chest with the altar piece in the Temple of Light. And you hear, we need to execute this twice because the chest is trapped. And you hear on the first reload that the chest will go off in the background. Listen. Oops. Okay, so now the chest trap is activated. We can save again. Load again and do it just the same, and there we go, we just opened the chest with the altar piece. Now what we want from this chest is money. This is not enough. We need at least 6,900 money or some items that we can sell to get to 6,900, because the next step in the speedrun is to change the game memory. Because you saw we can hire already the Judge and Resurrector if we use the follow glitch, but getting them right now would do nothing for us. We need to trick the game into thinking we actually completed the main quest. So to do that we need to use the potion glitch. So let me get there and need to load back into the map. So in case you don't know, every time you load a map, all the content is generated, but only on the first load. So if you enter an old save of the map, like in this well autosave, I had not entered the temple yet. You see I get the error message again. I can basically redo this as often as I want to save scum the contents. Wait, that was wrong. Okay, this looks good, yeah. So you can see we have 7,000 gold, that is enough. What we want to do with this gold is now to buy 2 very specific potions from the potion shop. These potions could theoretically appear in this chest, but the probability is so low that in my 700 attempts I've never seen them once. But it could happen. So we have the potions now.
Let's get out of here.
So we get out and try to not die from the angels that are not on our side, because we are not officially aligned with the good side. Now we make a save in front of the potion shop, and this is the actual big RNG part in this run. We have to save scum over and over and over again until we get 2 specific potions in the same load, which is a speed potion and a personality potion. So I will do that now and then just speed up the video so you can get a feel on how it works. Sometimes it can be very fast. So here we can see a speed potion already, but no personality potion. So we have to do it again. And you can imagine getting this first try basically is a free world record if you execute the rest. But getting those potions, that's the hard part. So here you have a personality, but no speed potion. Needs reload. Personality, no speed, reload. Okay, I'll speed up the video now until I get both potions. So while we wait for me to get the required potions, let me explain to you what we need them for. The idea is the following. Usually when your party characters take an action, they lose the action token. And if all of your characters lose the action token, so basically they wait for recovery, the action token goes to an invisible 0th character that is not supposed to take any action. If you happen to drink a potion while this 5th character has the action token, then the game freaks out a little and writes the potion's expiry time in specific memory addresses. Different potions write to different addresses, but the personality and the speed potion both write to relevant quest addresses for us. So in this post by Anerag you have the details a little more, though it is a little outdated. It was found by now that, for example, we don't need the choose light and dark side tokens. Book membership is also not important anymore, and also the time of the day doesn't matter anymore. So it's really lucky how all this comes together for us to be able now to beat the game in under 3 minutes. So let's continue with the run. The footage is now sped up to 8 times the normal speed, just to show you how insane it is to get the potions that you need. I spent like 20 minutes resetting here just to show you how unlikely it is. I think it is like 2.5%, something around that. I will just cut now to the moment where I get it, because otherwise we're sitting here for another minute.
Special brew is just for you.
Okay, finally! Here we have them, personality and speed. So we buy both of them. And then we die. So, next what we want to do is get the judge. Because we want to adjust now the... Oh, actually we don't have blue potions. No big deal, then we rest. Get money from the well. Get a follower and then just execute the same glitch that we did at the start of the run. To get the judge. So, we just missed the Temple of Light. Jump here, you see my mouse, going over, clicking higher, the judge. And the judge is in a slightly different state, so we just need to save and load to reset him. And now we have the judge as an active follower. So right now, he doesn't do much for us. Just gives us the temple piece. But we can change the game memory so that he thinks we completed the main quest and gives us the overthruster. And we have to do that at a very specific date. So we now sleep and die until we get to that date. This date is 5th of May. And the latest day we can die is the 26th of April. It's random on which day your character dies, so you have to pay attention. So now it's 26th. And we die. And it's the 5th of May. Ideally, you want to have a blue potion now. My party unfortunately doesn't have a blue potion, so no blue ingredients. That's why we need to pick up the campfire and rest. No big deal, just a little slower. In both cases, you want to learn the heal spell.
I've learned it.
If you have the blue potion, you would use it immediately. Also, we need to hire one more follower, because we need to do the follow glitch again. If you have a full rested party, like I do, jump into the water, wait 3 ticks, heal yourself, and kill the party by waiting 1 hour. Actually, I did it wrong now, because I'm supposed to have a little more health, but in that case you can just heal up again. It's like takes a second more than, it's no big deal. Anyway, it's 5th of May, and now we have to execute the potion glitch to change the game memory. What we have to do is quick cast and open the inventory, cast the spell, and now we have a short period of time to do something, and we use the time to drink the personality boost on the 5th character. That already changed some of the party information. For example, we have an active spell now for a few days. And we do this once again with the speed boost. And now the game thinks we completed the main quest, which means the judge gives us the overthruster, the item that we need. And now all that's left is getting rid of the judge by doing the follower glitch again and hiring Resurrector. Also, she's in a broken state, so we have to die again, save and load, and there she is. Now, since we have the overthruster, and we also altered the game memory to think that we killed Xenophax, we can do the Strike Devils quest, and we do the final task. And that's it. That's the whole run. Easy as that. For real, it is easy. You can just boot up the game and do it yourself. That is not complicated. But as you have seen, getting the potions that you need might take a while. Anyway, that is the full route explanation. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any more questions, put them in the comments, I will read them. And I also wrote a full guide, not only for any percent, but also for any percent no major glitches. And all awards, no major glitches, which is basically the 100% category.
Please come in.
Link is in the description. Enjoy.